out what do you think might be the issue with it. Right. Go ahead, add your views in the chat, and we'll see how many you can get it right. Okay. Please share your views in the chat. Make it more lively, active. Add what do you think might be wrong. Pick flaws from what I've made here. You can, if you want, you can even unmute. No issues. Yeah, go ahead, Louis.
You will be able to unmute now, so you can also unmute and answer.
Will there be recorded video after the class?
Could you repeat your question, Louis?
I said, will there be recorded video after the class?
Yes, the meeting is recorded and you will find the recording on the group session page only.
The group section page?
Yes, we'll be sharing the link after the group session.
Where will they share the link?
It will be on the website. It will be uploaded on the website. I will share it, don't worry. Yes.
Okay, that's okay.
Last 2 minutes, guys. Okay, I think you guys are on par. You have almost noted most of the issues with the resume. Let's see what I have highlighted. Definitely, there is firstly too much white space. Okay? While you are going to give this to a recruiter or a manager, they would feel that you have not done enough. As well as making it to a 2-pager is again making it a problem. You could have just squashed it together in a way to make it more informative and limit it to 1-pager. There is no contact info, very well guessed. Then we can see that it is this first paragraph is written in first person view. If I did not see anyone spot that out, but I see that you can see that I have written as I developed or was the go-to person. It was not in a different, it was a first person output, which should not be the pattern. Paragraph again is a problem. If a recruiter is reading it, they will not have enough time to go through each and every line and understand what you're doing. Having a pointer-based approach is a great option. However, you can see here, I did not add it in a very descriptive way. Whatever I'm adding, I'm just saying that I created an app with using this tech stack. But what impact was it bringing? How was it different? What new was it? This is something we have to focus upon. Education, I got a point that I only mentioned only graduate. Reason being, we have to, right now I was aiming at putting only 1-pager. So if you put multiple educations, it will be taking a majority of space and you'll not be able to add a great content around it. It's again an option. You can see here, projects. Again, projects is not very descriptive, very well guessed. Along with that, I added something around portfolio website. Personally, I believe portfolio website should be added as a link in the contact info along with LinkedIn, GitHub, etc. And we can save project space for something more real world, more versatile. Skills, very well guessed. Firstly, we have to divide skills into categories for recruiters to understand it properly. Other than that, adding soft skills to skills is not a good idea. And we'll talk more about that in the coming sections. Hobbies is good to have, not an issue. But a dedicated section for hobbies is not something suggested. It's again going to eat up the space and it's not going to make much more relevant. Achievements like clear JEE mains was a hit goal will not be contributing to the job description you possibly might be going for, unless it's a management role. I was making a resume around software developer. So these things do not make much of a difference. And we can talk more on what type of achievements can we look upon. And courses. Courses, you can always add it. Keep it minimal so that your space is saved. And it's an option. Target is to make it as much jam-packed as possible to bring out the best of it. Right. So it was really great out to see you guys, interacting on this Zoom. Let's go on. So these are the findings. Utilize the page at its best. Put one pager. Mention the contact information. Very important. Your recruiter needs to know where to reach out to you. Have some in-depth insights on your project or work experience. No first person, write in bullet points. Check for typos. Very important. You need to, if you're presenting something, it should be in the very correct format. Divide skills, justify your soft skills. So this is one point that I was mentioning. Why is it not a good idea to add your soft skills inside inside the skills part? Is that better if you reflect your soft skills with the work you have done? And we can see some examples of that. Keep your hobbies and interest sections short and have some achievements specific to the role you're applying. Now, what are the actual important sections one should have the resume? These are the ones. These are the ones, if you are able to define it properly, you should be having one perfect resume in your hand. You should have a name along with the contact details. Minimum details should be email, LinkedIn, GitHub. Add phone number as well, because resume is not something that you need to make it public. It should be only given to the recruiters. You should have having an about section is again an option. Based on the space you have, you can align it. Usually you can put about in your cover letter or in your LinkedIn bio. This is more attractive. As resume has a very restrictive space, I keep it as an option. Work experience. If you're a fresher, you can add in any internship experience or a volunteering that you might have done. If you are experienced candidate, focus more around your work experience. Education. Having just your university education part is more than enough. Unless you have some space remaining and you want to add some achievements from your 12th or 10th. Projects. For freshers, having a descriptive way of showing your projects is very much suggested. Add as much depth as possible to it. For experienced also, I believe having project section shows that you are working beyond and above and beyond than your than your normal work time. This will give an impact to your recruiters that you keep yourself driven in this tech field. Achievements. Have some achievements related to your field that you're approaching for. For example, if I'm going for a software developer role, engineer role, data science role, I'll be putting something around hackathons. I'll be putting something around my coding platforms. If I have a great achievement over Code Chef, Code Forces, Lead Code, something like that. If I was an ICPC participant around that, I achieved something around that. Something that I achieved in my workspace, etc. Certifications and courses are again optional, and you can proceed accordingly. Now, the biggest question that I received while getting your registrations was how to get through the applicant tracking system. So this is a system which is going to be actual filter, who's be responsible of filtering the resumes, where the actual point of rejections and acceptance really happen before you getting shortlisted for interview rounds. So the question where why did not I had a good profile, why did not get through any interviews, is how we have to focus on while building the resumes. It is very much important to understand what ATS really expects from us, and how to work around and create the best resume to crack this out. Now, some strategies that we should be inculcating while around ATS. Very first thing, resume needs to be tailored. You should not be having one single resume for each and every job. Change your resume according to your needs. We will go some example around it. So have a habit of having like a master resume, which I've mentioned here. Have a master resume. Keep everything that you can think that you have achieved in your time. Keep everything properly, well formatted way. And if you feel that this job is requiring a certain skill set which is not available, which is available in a different project or a different experience, just pick that up and put it in the current resume. This is all you have to do. Use relevant keys. Keywords is very important when it comes to ATS. That is a major strategy they really segregate you upon. But that doesn't mean you add on every single keyword just for the sake of it, because you have to go through the interview rounds. Keep it as honest as possible. But if you might have done something and you might have not added earlier to the resume, you could just do that. Certain keywords you should keep and not keep. So first one is why words that you should not be keeping. So something like go-to person, strategic thinker, best of breed, think outside box, hard worker, team player. All these words are like your soft skills and more self-oriented words. My approach always will be keep these words in a way that can describe you better than just putting it out there. If you put a hard worker, you're not justifying to recruiter, right? That how you're a hard worker. The best way to do is show them your achievements, show them some out of the box work that you did in your project. I'll talk more about what type of project you should be using around, but having some more insights, or say having some more description about how you worked on building the project or how you worked on doing some task in your workspace will bring a better self out of you to recruiters, rather than just putting a plain word as hard worker, team player, strategic thinker, best of breed, etc. So let's refrain from that and think and only talk about things that actually matter to the recruiters. This is very important. We should only be talking about what actually matters. Now, words to keep, you could always keep developed, delivered under budget. Corporate loves putting things which you are doing under budget, you're making it more economic, you're saving business for them. That's extremely highlighted to the recruiters. You could say how you can generate revenue. Having words like mentor will show them that you showcase some leadership skills. Have certain words. Even if you're fresher, it's a good idea to have certain words. It shows you're already on the path, because in corporate, after a few years of time, you have to take up leadership role, and not everyone can do it. So just put it out there, you will stand perfectly fine. And have a master resume. I couldn't stress on this point. Take out some 1 day or 2 day, sit along, think of all the things. First, you start with writing all the things you think you have achieved over 4 years of time. Right? Ask your friends if you're forgetting anything. Right? Ask them that what do you think I might have done separately. You could talk about academic projects that you would have done, any achievement you did during your course. These are the few things you could pick it up. First, just write it down plainly in a very random format. Pick one point individually, and after that, just elaborate more on the point. Add more content on the point. Add more matrix if possible on the point to make it more impactful. Right? It might be a very small thing for you, just create a website or something, but show how it impacted, how the website is more impactful in the real world market, right? Just show the confidence you have in yourself. That's all. You just have to sell yourself better, right? It's the best way to sell yourself better if you are able to put in a great set of projections around. Okay, I'm be pausing here. If you have any doubts on ATS, we can go ahead and then we're moving to our activity. Please put your doubts. Yeah. Let's see.
Ma'am, I'm audible.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, do we have to include strengths and weaknesses in resume?
I would suggest not to. This is something which is to be taken care during your interviews. It's a side that you have to project during that. It is not something that I suggest. Better keep it only specific to the technical skill sets, and not a lot around your strengths and weaknesses. We don't, and never put weaknesses on your resume, right? You don't have to show a negative side around. Hope I answered your question, so.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Spandana, I'll be sharing one of the resume towards the end, and maybe in the recording you can pick it up from how my final resume looks like. Um, we can mention extracurricular activities. Yes, you can. Um, Keep it limited to one or two, but keep it under activity section. Like just keep it to one page. As long as you stick to one page, it's great. That's what I believe in. You don't have to go far. Freshers should build resume, one page of resume, need not go building CVs, very descriptive. Recruiters do not have time to go through a long page or one page of resume, short, descriptive, simple English works. Yes, it's very good to mention leadership programs. Yes, I was going to some websites. It's readily available on Google. You can directly Google it. Just put whatever, just put the job description over there along with your resume template, and they'll help you out how much percentage you set upon. But I'll talk more on the lines in the next slide as well. Okay, resume formats. There are multiple resume formats available in the market. I stick to a very standard format. Reason being, everyone uses it. So the ATS system should be trained around it, is what I feel, right? So if it's a recruiter who's seeing them on their own, it's easier for them to track. Okay, this is the skill section. Okay, just read it directly through. In the skills section, they have divided the skills in a different categories. I can see it. I understand it. Good for me. After changing the format, putting it in a random places, recruiter has to spend a minute or so to figure out where are you putting skills, where are you putting education. So I personally feel always keep it in a standard format. If you want to show your skills as a developer, you could go ahead and add project links, add your portfolio links, and there they can see your work. But let's keep it simple for the recruiters, right? We want to make them happy. There are multiple tools available to make a great resume. Go ahead. Right now, we're talking about what strategies you can accompany, and then you can use the strategy along with the resume building, and you can just align if it's working as per we discussed it. It is not suggested to put a profile picture. Not necessary. Not a standard pattern that anyone does it. Your name is more than enough. LinkedIn is a place where you can show more around your profile picture, around your more achievements, more depth. Sure, I'll try to share the template that I have been using for your help. I'll try to figure that out. Right. Now let's move on to the next step. Okay. So this is an activity. You are the ATS here, right? Giving you a very big benefit. It's your time to reject and accept. Okay. Go through this job description. Read it through, and I'll be giving you two formats. Okay. Just don't I have squeezed the format to only specific headlines right now. You figure out which one will be the winner here. Right? Take a 2-minute time, read, go through it, and we'll go to the examples. Give me thumbs up if you're done reading through. Yeah. Yes. Sure, sure. Please take your time. No issues. I'll give you time till it's 11:30, 11:33. We'll move to the context of some examples. Okay, I see most of you guys are done. Should we move? Yes, perfect, perfect. Okay, let's. These are A and B. You tell me which is the winner here. Who would you choose to get the job? Great privilege for you guys. Add your responses in the chat. Okay. Right, we got A's and B's. Got it. Let's see. Let's use the winner. Correct. So it's a B is the winner. Congratulations, guys. You have picked up the right candidate. Let's see why have I chosen B as the winner. Firstly, we should be targeting around the words, right? Keywords are also important along with the job description. Our job description wanted something which is production ready, good quality, you know, great of impact that they've done. So I have highlighted few words that makes it stand out, right? You can use a similar strategy while building your paragraphs around projects. This is for an experience. You can build it out around the project section. Now, we can see that I developed a production ready API. You could add that whenever you have done that. Even if you're building a project, you could always say that it is a production ready project and will do best in most of the scenario because it has been tested well. If you could see the project section here, I added a conducted through unit testing to ensure quality. This makes you stand out that you were also thinking of all the edge cases around it while building it. Now, I also write about that this system was designed. Right? In a project also, you can mention that you designed this API for this particular use case, design this application for this particular use case, showing that you have ability to design everything from scratch. You should also, it's better during your interviews, you mention that I designed it optimally by using so and so strategies, right? Then I also added this is an intricate feature, showing the complexity of what you made, right? So if you're building, if you're making something complex, this again stands you out. That, okay, you worked on something very difficult and achieved it with a great results. Here I also read about something like written something like quickly adopted. This is a It was very seamless while integrating with other items. You made it perfect in the quality. There was no bugs around it. You were well versed with whatever you were doing, and given it in time with a great quality results, right? And along with that, I've also added this impact here. Impact is something great to add if you're an experienced professional. Being someone who is building a project, it is okay if you don't add it. I'll go to a difference. What should you add in place of impact in numbers? Okay, if you don't want to add impact as numbers, there's another way you could go ahead, right? And yeah, increase in efficiency quickly and easily. And majorly in the previous job description, they wanted someone who does C, Java, C++. And this was a point where we saw the language Java was used. The other prompt did not have any of the three skills mentioned majorly, right? So this is more specific to the job description provided. You can go ahead in the recording and check how A is different from B as well. You will not be able to find much difference. You'll not be able to find great wordings like this. Okay. Are we good here? I can get some thumbs up on this. So, okay, great. Okay, let's moving on. Got it. So one of the questions for my experienced candidate who was in the session today, there is a difference on how to build a resume. It's an experienced candidate and a fresher. Okay? If you're an experienced candidate, it's suggested to focus more on your work experience. It shows how you're a corporate person, how well you were able to do it, and that. If you're a fresher, elaborate more on projects, internship, volunteering experience. It gives equal weightage being a fresher, right? Mention more around the business impact being an experienced candidate. Like I mentioned here with the matrix, it gives more impact when you show the numbers to people, right? If you improve something, how much did you improve? What was the impact of it? How did it change? Something like that. For freshers, it is good to have if you can add some real world impact of the personal project. For instance, let's say I am building a women's safety app that I mentioned here, right? How will it impact the real world? It's gonna be safe for women in a very remote places like that. They can easily handily use it. Um, it is also promoted by government in a way. It will be great reach around it. Now there was another project that I did around smart fridge. So I could say that in smart fridge, I was able to track what all food items are in the fridge, which can get stale, etc. So how to optimize that, reduce food wastage, build around the bigger problem, right? That how this food wastage is such a big deal and how we can do it at a smaller household level. So it is all about presenting and the way you can present better. That's the main part. So this is how you can show an impact along with your projects, personal projects. Next, experienced candidates, it's a great idea to showcase leadership and ownership towards your projects. Reason being, you will be taking up the lead roles in just near future, showing that you led a group of people, you drove it, you were the owner of the entire end-to-end piece, will stand you out in the group, right? If you're a fresher, it is good to have leadership as well as teamwork skills. You have to go ahead and enter a team, how well team player you are. But again, writing teamwork or team player keyword in your skill set is not going to make a difference. Showcase something like, let's say if you did a project, mention that it was my idea that we started building upon. I gave liberty to the team to choose it according to their strengths and preferences. I was able to check upon them whether things were done on time and help them, assist them. You could write it in one liner so that it's not going beyond the text, but showcase this that you are a team player along with a good leader, right? This will be a great addition to your resume. Experienced candidates, I prefer if you mention certifications if you have. Courses might not be relevant enough because you might be already having enough content from your experience and project section. Freshers, go ahead and mention courses and certifications, but do not go beyond 2 to 3. It is good to have courses, but I believe personally projects and experience bring in more weight than courses done. Right? Recruiters might be dicey of how impactful were these courses. You do actually go ahead and do a deep dive into it. So it's better if you make a project. Project's a very great addition that, oh, you were able to build with the latest tech and with a great idea project from scratch, right? Experienced candidates, it's okay to have a 1 or 2 pager resume size. Freshers, go stick to 1 pager. Recruiters do not appreciate fresher having more than 1 pager. They prefer it in 1 pager. Then they are aware of how skills, how everyone is working, right? A little bit. So it's better keep it easy for them and just keep as much as possible jam packed in 1 pager. Next. Now, biggest thing of the session is, how are you going to stand out? What is it that's going to make you stand out in your resume that you can project it so well that recruiters will go ahead and easily give you interviews? There are a few pointers that I have personally integrated during my undergrad and have got a great response. You should try and do the same thing. I'm pretty sure you might have had some projects around it, but fail to understand that how and which is a better way to put it. Projects, if you're able to identify and build versatile projects. What I mean by versatile is, let's not stick to just one tech stack while building project. Let's just integrate. Like for example, when I used to make my app development projects, it used to be on Flutter framework, having some multiple APIs that I'm using, like Google Maps, Firebase, etc., for the data store and everything. And addition to that, sometimes I used to use model integrated projects or some hardware integrated projects. So this gives a very holistic view that you are able to work with different items in one single project. And along with having it a real world project makes it the biggest impact, that you are thinking along the lines of problem solving towards a real world. This is what the tech is going to bring you, right? Next point, include GitHub links while you are adding the projects and have a very descriptive readme, right? So if today, even if you're adding GitHub links, if your interview wants to go and see the project, they don't have to go and see the code base. They will not have enough time to go ahead and understand. But if you have a great readme, well-written passage, what you are doing here, what all tech stacks have been used here, what was the diagram, like showcase some chart on how everything is connected, what you have used where, which tech stacks have been used where, you will stand out completely. Trust me, completely. I did this similar strategy, and it will bring an edge to you that you are able to project yourself, you are able to show your work in a very impressive presented manner, right? Presentations matter a lot in corporate world, and having that skill from start, it's a great app. Portfolio website, if you're targeting a front end job, you could always use this as your strength. Show them how how you're able to create it with your own magical way of organizing things and presenting it in the best way possible, and just wow their interviewers, right? Wow your recruiters, wow your interviewers that you have a great skill set. Keep the resume as simplistic as possible, but do all the magic you can in your portfolio. It is good to have, not always required. Video portfolio is another add-on, but is again an option, not always required. It just introduces yourself to recruiters and interviewers better. what sort of a person you are when someone talks to you, how you're able to deliver your thoughts, etc. Tech blogs are biggest add-on. You might have read some Medium blogs or any passages on different places are there where you can add your blogs. Even Preplaced has a place where people add blogs, right? Go ahead and write your if you're able to write these contents around, add those links. Okay, you don't have to write the entire link, just embed it using embed it inside any text, but add those links. Show your interviewers, recruiters that, see, I, along with just building products, I'm able to document it well. In corporate, it's important that you document it uh, well. You're able to go ahead and you know write items that can showcase your work properly. If you're able to, it's more about if you're able to showcase them that you know the technical skill set that you have used. This project is done solely by you, and you're able to explain it very well in a documented way. Most of the projects that's done in corporate, a documentation pattern is there in case anyone else has to onboard. It's easier for them to onboard. It's easier for any manager to go ahead and understand what the work you have done. Presentation skills matter a lot, and technical blogs, content writing is extremely beneficial while you're moving forward with it. And in today's date, we have a great tool, ChatGPT. Go ahead, use it. Use it to your best. It's a tool for you guys, right? You are just entering into the field if you're fresher and all. It's like it's the best tool you could get. You can easily create great tech blogs around it, right? Create great project descriptions if you're not able to find right words around it. So go ahead, use the tool wisely and integrate it in a way that you are going to stand out, right? This is the aim today, that you have to make a perfect resume that's gonna just wow people around. Yeah, ChatGPT you can try to use to match keywords, along the job description lines. Just verify the text that has been used. It's not like ChatGPT is picking entire sentences up from job description. It's not going to look good on you. Integrate few words around it, but do not make it do not lie about it. Have certain honesty is a factor. If you're adding it falsely in interviews, it will be very well reflected. So try to be honest, but do not like add take the use of ChatGPT, but just ensure that it's not using the entire sentences as it is, and making it look not in a very understandable manner. Right? Okay. Right. Wait, let's just read some questions on this, and then we'll move to the next one. LinkedIn is a very strong tool. I'm just going through that, but I'm going to keep the discussion for some next time. I think we'll be on time if we go on that. It's vast enough. How to use it? It has another different levels of strategy around it. Yes, go ahead. But what do you mean by declarations? Right. Quality is required to write good technical content. You just need a laptop and some skills that you want, really love applying. You can write even a technical blog on Python if you want. Right? There is no limitations. Go ahead, try whatever, experiment things. It's just never be restricted by anything. I would suggest go rogue, apply, try everything around. Whichever interests you along the standout lines, go ahead and do it. No one's gonna judge you. Tech industry, no one's gonna judge, right? You're just putting in more information. There's nothing wrong with that. Just go ahead. No good quality is required. You just need a laptop, text editor. Go ahead, do the magic. Okay, compulsory to mention higher and secondary education percentages. It's not compulsory. Undergrad for sure you have. You can at least have, if you're a fresher, you can at least have a higher secondary education, not the 10th grade, but the 12th grade possible. But if you feel that you have much more achievements, much more highlights in your projects and work experience, you want to use space in your education, you can do that as well. I've done that as well. But as a fresher, I would suggest have 12th grade as well, right? It's good. Suggest working, but working professionals should limit themselves to just their undergrad and postgrad if they. Resume. Yes, I'll come to the non-IT to IT profile as well. How you can stand out. Okay, it's coming in the next section. Video portfolio is not important to have. It's just an add-on. But again, I can put that as an optional. Not everyone does it, but it's not always required. Okay, if you're going for a non-tech roles, it's a great add-on, right? How your people skills are able to present it better. But if you're in technical skill set, it's okay. It's not a mandatory. Projects, we can go ahead. Just give me 1 minute. Simran, may I know what is the total 50s out of what is the total range for the TTS score? Is it 100 only, right? I would suggest if you're going for fan base, let's work a little bit around your resume if required. If fan base requires a very standout profiles is what I suggest. But I would say you never know, try your luck, go ahead, apply. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel there's a little bit scope that you can add, go ahead. Oh, declaration is not at all important. It's okay. It's okay. While you're applying your application to the recruiter, they're going to give you an application link. There you can directly check the box and the declaration is done. Do not waste your space around these things. That's not at all required. Yeah, Nisha, I'll come around the transitioning part. Maintain portfolio website, right side. I would say if you see personally, I did not create my portfolio website, right? I was focused around web app development and backend majorly. So I thought other skill set, GitHub links, README and all would provide me a good head start to it. It is, but I have many of my friends are not around this field, are in this field, have created portfolio website. So it's just gonna do an add-on, right? It's not a mandatory, but another standout point, right? Add projects to be built in paid internships. Yeah, you know, no issue. No one's gonna ask you whether it was a paid internship, whether you did some work, show it out. You don't have to justify everything. Any work you have done is going to stand out. So just understand that. Many of the people do not get chance to build around extracurriculars. If you already have some of it, lovely. Just put it out there. Okay, I'll move to the next part and then I'll take some questions towards the end. Now, few of the biggest, again, two of the biggest questions that I got in my queries. First was career gap, right? Career gap is definitely a thing worth talking about. But how is the best way to handle it in your resume, or should you even handle it in your resume? So first part is, I would say, do not write career gap explicitly in your resume. When you're writing the resume, right, your timelines will automatically show that you have a career gap. Do not add a line to justify it in your resume while you don't have enough space. Plus, there'll be a little bit more explanations required around it, and just having a one-liner resume will not be enough, is what I feel. Highlight if you have done any upskilling work, any projects during this career gap. Do highlight it. Do add it to the resume, right? Just show that during the time. If your experience shows a gap, show in your projects that no, you did this. Show in your courses also, you can add the timeline. So as to justify that you were not idle, you were still working on your career while you were taking the gap. Finally, discuss and justify the career gap directly with the recruiters. This is my point. People also suggest put your career gap in your cover letter. Still, my judgment is go ahead, talk to the recruiters directly, justify whatever your reasons were. It could be any reason. It's totally fair, right? There's no problem in career, no problem in that. But let your recruiters know so it doesn't affect you towards the end of it. You are already in the clear picture that this is the scenario of it, and you will proceed accordingly. So have recruiters are your friends. Trust me, recruiters, they want you to get in. Okay, they really, if you're good, they really want you to get the job. It's gonna make it easier for them. So keep it clear with them, make them understand. They will suggest you what is the right way to proceed in this scenario, but do not put it on the resume. It is not the right place to justify. Right? Career switch. Um, Another question that which I feel I should be addressing now. First, in career switch, if you are switching from a non-tech to an IT field, having a lead, mentioning about your leadership, ownership, teamwork, testimonials is an add-on, because as you're gonna grow up, as you're gonna grow in your field, these skills are always required, right? Leading, ownership, teamwork, always required. Potential value. Add that one-liner to that previous experience that you have had. Now, how to stand out having the career switch? First is mention your skills in resume that aligns with the job description, right? Now you have to consider job description as a source of your truth. Figure out what they want and have some time to build projects around it, have some courses around it. Justify that no, you are ready for this career switch. That you have done some work beforehand for ready to be into this zone career switch. You can add on your credentials of DSA as well. That is also again add on. And highlight, yeah, third point is all about highlighting it, and just to showcase that you are proactive, to take steps towards changing, and you are extremely enthusiastic about this field, right? So this is very much important, because recruiter will always have an option to get a fresher who was done work around given tech stacks, given job description, and someone who's changing the field but still not subpar with it, right? So recruiters would prefer taking the freshers. So in that way, you have to make a little more extra effort to showcase that no, you are the right candidate for it, and you showcase it by your work, by the work you have done. I hope this answers the questions. Whoever asked more around it. Yeah, Chandni.
Ma'am, but they ask for the experience actually. So that is very difficult because I have built up the resume. I'm a non-IT. I'm switching to IT. I'm pursuing MCA plus a business analyst course also. But they ask for the experience, and that is something very challenging. I don't have the experience and everything.
Can you not
So
even try
how
for
to
entry
do that?
level roles? So in this scenario, usually entry level roles is something that really helps you out. This is what I have also analyzed, that if experience is not something that they're aligned with, you can always try for entry level roles as you're starting around
Yeah.
with it. MCA is a great add, I would say. Already doing MCA, which will already get you there. Right? I do not usually I was not putting the point forward, but if you're taking it up, it's great. But Sunny, go ahead and do some more LinkedIn engagement. Show them, like, project your skills as much as possible to your networking. You will not reach out to just few recruiters, you will reach out to hundreds and thousands of recruiters in this scenario, right? So try some more strategizing around it. This will help you better, right? There are many multiple recipes to get through that, right? So if this is not working out, we have to grinding that. Okay, now I have to show them that I'm great at this, right? And the best is write some technical posts around it and just showcase your talent.
Okay. Because I'm into finance field now, I want to switch to IT field. So this is a
I think
challenge
you're
for
right,
me.
already on track. With finance and business analyst, you are on the right track. I think
Yeah.
it's better if you networking and engagements. You should get there, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Sure,
Thanks a lot.
no issues. Uh, where will I related to resume, something on the interview skills? We can talk more about it maybe in the next session. We can take up trial sessions or something. You can take any mentorship sessions anywhere else, and we can talk more on that. If question is why should we hire you, what will we tell? Again, this is more around how you can interact with recruiters, a more deeper way of how to free frame your words, right? So definitely, maybe next I can line up another group session for that next time. Projects. Okay, I think CSC or EC. Ayush, is it? Are you like in just first year? Are you about to join undergrad, or is it just like which is the preference? Anyhow, like if you're targeting software roles, EC, anyone from EC also gets through the roles. But if you still have an option to change into CSE, go ahead and CSE will be a better give you a better edge than EC. But if you're already in EC, you can still land software jobs. Say 5 years down the lane is something subjective to what is your background. And I think we are on time that I could discuss more in depth around it. Right? Recommendation for projects of for front end. Let's just see if we are done on the deck. Okay, good. Now, projects. Recommended projects for front end internship would be, I'll say, go with React projects. Integrate multiple APIs, integrate multiple libraries, show your magic, right? See what everyone else is doing with your front end skills, what the front end skills in today's day, and go ahead and take inspiration. Best places, go to GitHub, search for front end projects, see the latest last 2-3 years projects, and see what you find unique, right? Which is having a little bit edge to it. So the GitHub is the best place to go and get some ideas, inspiration to put in. You need not build everything from scratch. Take inspiration, get some. You can pull in some code from there as well, and add some magic of yours as well. Back Java, create backend. I would always suggest have a little bit of front end along with your backend to showcase an end-to-end project. That because backend is good to have showcase a written API, etc. Is always acceptable, but to make a very solid project, I used to always have a little bit of front end. There are multiple websites that are going to easily create a good front end for you, and it's easier to create with the basic tech stacks, right? So have that, keep it full stack a bit. But otherwise, if you want to go for a backend, go ahead and build some great APIs for great use cases. See if any check out more on the GitHub as well. That as a fresher role, what is going to help you? Because see what happens is with backend, you need some good amount of data as well to handle it, right? So having in your local system, how is it a better way to go ahead and do it, right? To keep around with it. Even ML projects are good for software developer and data science roles. You can do any ML based projects as well. Perfect. Full stack, again, it's going to be front end and back end. Integrated projects are the best. Do some hardware as well, again, stand out for you. Do some ML integrations as well, stand out for you. Align multiple readily available APIs to showcase that you are doing a very generic available items, right? Perfect. Now, right. So here is where I'll mention a little bit around the questions where which is specific to your profiles, right? You, like for example, just Chandini mentioned, switching around, or you coming from a different backgrounds, right? Different, if you're coming from a different college fields, how to enter into development roles, or if you want to change from software to data science, what is the right way to do it? What is the right interviewing skills you need? What is the right preparation guide you need, etc., etc. Right? Multiple parallels were there. Here is where the one-on-one long-term mentorship comes in to the picture. I can give everyone right now. It was a very generic idea what is the right path for in general what should be targeted, but everyone requires a very unique recipe to go around, right? And this is where I will pitch in the one-on-one long-term internship, which I'm providing via Preplaced. I'll be helping you out. So I have a very clear strategy. If a candidate is coming to me, I will understand their situation and will be giving them what is the right roadmap to follow that, right? If it's an interviewing skill, what is the right level of mock interviews we can target? What are things you need to build upon in your current state, etc., etc. Just understand how a doctor would give you a prescription. That's how this program is going to work. So go ahead and check around that. if you want some more in-depth understanding on what I have acquired during my entire tenure, this is the right place to take this up from me. I have very limited slots available. I think I already had my trial sessions filled up, but I increased some limit. Go ahead and do that. I'll be sharing the link, right? So I'm also sharing my LinkedIn. You can connect with me on there. I have other platforms as well where I'm providing my services. Go ahead and check that out. If pre-placed trial sessions are filled, you can check that as well. I'm also providing a code for the long-term mentorship. Go ahead, take it up. You'll be getting some discount on top of it as promised for this session. And yeah, this is great to talk to you guys. If you have any more questions, this is the time to put it up. Open your phone, scan the QR codes, and let's just network with each other, right? And please share your feedbacks for the session. As I'm also growing with my mentorship journey, I would love to hear it from you guys. And as I promised, I'll be sharing you the template that you should be going forward with. Right? Change it according to your